Welcome back. The OECS Health Unit joined the regional community in observance of Caribbean Wellness Day 2019 under the OECS Diabetes Prevention Care Project in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. Jacques Wooding tells us more.
On Friday, September 13, 2019, the OECS Health Unit held a health and knowledge fair at the Constitution Park in observation of Caribbean Wellness Day. A number of booths were present and set up to provide medical advice, health screenings, and consultations to members of the public. Health educator Alison Isbert underscored the importance of being conscious about one's health status.
Caribbean Wellness Day, and around the island we're commemorating that day. Now the theme for this year is Healthy Aging Starts Now. So it's all about looking at our health, our habits, and how it impacts both negatively and positively. And when we think about aging, for young people especially, that is not something we pay attention to. Now, when you think about non-communicable diseases, that speaks to our behaviors and how that impacts. So you're talking about what we eat, when we eat, how much we eat, what we drink, how much of it we drink, and what that can do for your health and for aging.
Isbert urged persons to make smart and informed choices about what they put into their bodies. She stands with current progressions in the health sector on the war against tobacco and e-cigarettes.
What we're trying to do is to impress on people what the effects can be. Because you're talking about sanitation, you're talking about something that is being, especially when you talk about the hookah and all of those, and even for e-smoking or using those. One may think that it's because it's not tobacco or the direct form of tobacco, then you're fine. But you're really not, because you're talking about putting a substance in your body that is not natural to it. And that foreign substance can have an effect, especially when you use it very often.
She also highlighted the importance of monitoring stress levels, especially in the observation of the 2019 theme, Healthy Aging Starts Now.
When you talk about stress, when you talk about issues that everybody across the life spectrum deal with, from the little one, because some people think that young children and students don't go through stress, but they do, maybe even more than you, the adult, depending on the circumstance. So as you look at the continuum of life, from the young child to the elderly, we talk to them about mental health, the things you can do, good stress, bad stress, because a good bit of stress or good stress is good for the body. It helps keep you balanced and just to manage it better. But it's when it begins to get to the negative, and so you hit depression and all of that, it becomes a problem.
The Ministry of Health noted that it is proud to help spearhead such initiatives to ensure the health of the country's greatest resource, its people. For Health 7 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
St. Lucia played host to the 56th meeting of Ministers of Health from various OECS member states. The meeting gave Ministry of Health officials the opportunity to strategize for the region as well as address challenges in the health sector that confront small island developing states. Solange Alfred reports.
St. Lucia played host to the 56th meeting of Ministry of Health officials, facilitated by the Pan-American Health Organization, PAHO, and World Health Organization, WHO. On the agenda for the gathering of high-ranking health officials was outlining strategy, addressing challenges, and understanding and overcoming the vulnerabilities facing small island developing states. PAHO and WHO representative for Barbados and the Caribbean, Godfrey Zrep, says the meeting will act as a consultation for the upcoming PAHO Directing Council.
Would like to first of all thank the government of St. Lucia for hosting this meeting. This meeting today is a briefing of the Ministers of Health for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean on the upcoming PAHO Directing Council. The PAHO Directing Council is a yearly event where all the Ministers of Health of the Americas meet to discuss the health situation in the region and to plan the agenda for the work of the Pan-American Health Organization and the World Health Organization in the Americas for the upcoming year. In this case, this year, we are looking at the strategic plan, so looking at the agenda for 2020-2025.
According to Zarep, small developing island states all face similar challenges in regards to delivering affordable health care.
All the members of the Eastern Caribbean region and Barbados have similar issues being small island developing states. The main issues with regards to the health sector is always how we ensure that we provide health for all. We provide not only health for all, but also provide health for all in a good quality of care. And that means that we have to keep the health services up to the level of technologies that are advancing in the 21st century. We have to ensure that we have good human resources for health. We have to ensure that the public are aware of what are their responsibilities and how their behaviors can affect their health. And also ensure that the environments that we live in and that we work in are conducive to good health promotion.
The representative for PAHO and WHO notes regional sharing of health services can also become a viable option, especially when certain islands excel in a specific area of healthcare.
Well, all of the islands have their peculiarities. So, for example, we have an excellent oncology center that is a center that looks at cancer treatment and care in Antigua. We have a very good pediatric surgical center in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have a very good public health lab in Barbados. We have here in St. Lucia a state-of-the-art new hospital, which we hope will also be developing some of the technologies and services that were needed. And as small island developing states, one of the things that we as the Pan American Health Organization, and I know also the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, are looking at is how we can leverage, how we can best ensure that these services are made available to all the citizens of the Eastern Caribbean.
Zureb goes on to say the best in healthcare of each island can be leveraged and shared regionally amongst all Eastern Caribbean states as a means to provide the best universal healthcare services to the people of the region. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solaj Alfred.
Freedom of mobility is something that every individual cherishes. For the children at the Child Development and Guidance Center at Leclerc in Castries, in need of wheelchair assistance, a wonderful donation was given to them through the charitable cooperation between various groups. Wheelchair assistance was given in a joint effort between the Rotary Club of St. Lucia, the Rotary Club of Groseilliers, as well as the Tourism Development Fund and the World Wheelchair Federation.
Philanthropy is high on the agenda of the Rotary Club of St. Lucia, which collaborated with stakeholders to bring to the children of the Child Development and Guidance Center needed assistance in the form of wheelchairs. Past President Rotary Club of Groseilliers, Lyle Chase, says the pulling together of resources by various stakeholders made this donation and many others like it a possibility.
Rotary Clubs of St. Lucia, that is Rotary Club of St. Lucia and the Rotary Club of Groseilliers, were advised that there was a big need for wheelchairs. And we have an ongoing relationship with the CDGC, and they told us that they really needed some specialist chairs. So we went to the World Wheelchair Foundation, and they told us that they could help us to source the chairs. Then came the finding of the money, and through past President Conrad, we were able to get the Tourism Enhancement Fund to put up the money, which was, I think, about 120,000 EC dollars, to bring down a container of chairs. 28 or so of those chairs are specialist chairs designed specifically for the CDGC, and the remainder, about another 150 chairs, 250 chairs. We have distributed island-wide.
Additionally, coming on board and providing a helping hand in the distribution of wheelchairs to the south of the island was Lions Club Micoud and Vieux-Fort chapter. Assisting the children in adjusting the wheelchair was pediatric physiotherapist CDGC Elaine Clement. She describes the necessity of the special wheelchairs and expresses immense gratitude to the Rotary Clubs for the generous donation.
So the two children you saw me working with this morning both have cerebral palsy. One is caused by prematurity and the other one had Zika. Mommy had Zika when she was pregnant. So they both have needs for a lot of support when they're sitting. Last year and the year before, we received quite a lot of wheelchairs from Rotary, which were great, but just regular wheelchairs. And at the time I said, well, some of the kids need more support. So last year we did get some extra supportive inserts for the regular wheelchairs. But this year they came out, Rotary went above and beyond and found some extra supportive chairs. So I was just adjusting them. You can adjust them in different ways to make them fit, so that the kids have more support when they're sitting, support for their head, support for their chest, support for their feet, and the straps are, they have more straps than on a regular wheelchair. And the chairs actually tilt backwards as well, so they can be a little bit more comfortable. They don't have to hold their head up quite so much to be able to sit and see what's going on and just be able to be a little more active around the community. So parents can take them to church, take them to the supermarket, and generally take them out a little bit more when they're in their community at home.
Meanwhile, Program Manager of the Tourism Enhancement Fund, Donette Ishmael, notes providing the finance for the initiative was an easy decision. She says the Tourism Enhancement Fund looks forward to future collaborations with the Rotary clubs.
This project started almost a year now, and it has now come into fruition where the Rotary Club of St. Lucia and the Tourism Enhancement Fund has collaborated to get wheelchairs donated to persons around the island. For the Tourism Enhancement Fund, this project was a no-brainer because of the impact that it would have on our people, on our communities. And today, this being the last donation, culminated very well, where we are now donating to children that are less able, differently able, and just to see, to give people the mobility which we take so for granted is something that is a worthwhile venture, and we are looking to continue collaborations like that with other agencies as well, and to further improve on this collaboration that we have with the Rotary Club. We are looking to launch something called Friends of the Tourism Enhancement Fund, and we look forward to the Rotary Club and the TEF doing more worthwhile ventures such as what is happening here today.
Family members of the children receiving the much-needed special wheelchairs were also present to express gratitude and appreciation to the Rotary Club of St. Lucia for their persistence in acquiring the wheelchairs and donating them freely to those requiring it. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solaj Alfred.
Wynwood and Leeward Brewery Limited and DBC are positively impacting the cultural, economic and educational development of the south of the island, particularly in the community of Labrie. The brewery partnered with the Labrie Economic and Employment Forum and Festin Labowie Vendors Association to donate 6 new tents to the Festin Labowie initiative and refurbish the preschool in Bans-Lagras.
Wynwood and Leeward Brewery Limited and DBC have given a whole new meaning to the phrase community outreach. Following its last visit to Grosley, where the community received some much-needed support, WLBL has stretched out its corporate social responsibility arm once again, this time to the south of the island. The company provided assistance in the form of 6 brand new tents to go towards the hosting of the popular Friday night street party, Festin Labowie.
We recognize that in order for us to sustain this event, the Festin Labowie that we needed to do a few things. We needed to be self-sustaining in some areas. And this tents is going to assist us in a big way in achieving this. You know, corporate community in St. Lucia, it's not easy to get sponsorship. And this afternoon, I want to say I'm very proud of Wynwood and Leeward Brewery.
Festin Labowie is a street party held every last Friday of the month in Labrie and represents one of the biggest local and foreign attractions to the community. The event was created by the Labrie Economic and Employment Forum approximately 4.5 years ago to assist with unemployment in the area, and WLBL has been supporting them since inception.
As part of our corporate social responsibility, we look for projects that are sustainable within the community. So when the Labrie Economic and Employment Forum approached us, we were really excited with something that can be sustainable within the community and also contribute to employment within the community. As Damascus alluded to, this is not our only project that we're doing in Labrie. We are working with the Bass-Lagrasse preschool. We're refurbishing it, providing them with water tanks, so that the students there will have an enabling learning environment.
Vice President of the Festin Laboe Vendors Association thanked the brewery and assured stakeholders that the tents will be put to good use.
Words are not enough to express our gratitude towards WLBL. We have had a cordial relationship throughout these 4 years, and we do hope this presentation today will only strengthen our relationship, and this will be a sign of things to come.
All stakeholders and members of the Labrie community in general were extremely excited about the upcoming Festin Laboe and the continued support from Wynwood and Leeward Brewery Limited. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Tennyson Glasgow is up next with all the sporting action.